Hello everyone. Welcome to UPSC CSE Notes. We are providing free notes for competitive exam. Be active, deep focus. Let's start. Class 9 Ncert Economics Chapter 4. Food Security in India. Overview. Food Security. Public Distribution System, PDS, Government Vigilance. Government action at times, when this security is threatened. What is food security? Food is as essential as air. Food security means availability of food to all, and available food is accessible to all, and accessible food is affordable to all people at all times. Here, food availability refers to availability of food in countries. Accessibility of food means food is within people's reach. Affordability for food refers to people are able to buy it. Creation of buffer stock is also done in this system. Why food security? Food security is helpful at the time of natural disaster when there is lack of food. At the time of natural disaster like earthquake, flood, or drought etc., production of food grains decreased, which creates a situation of decrease in food availability. The attainment of food security therefore involves eliminating current hunger and reducing the risks of future hunger. Famine of Bengal in 1943 was the most devastating famine. Who are food insecure? In rural areas, landless and small farmers, traditional artisans like blacksmith, providers of services like washermen, petty self-employed workers and destitute came under the category of food insecure. In urban areas, persons who employed in ill-paid occupations and casual laborers are food insecure. These labor came under seasonal workers and have low wages. Children under the age of 5 years, large proportion of pregnant and nourishing mothers are also came under the category of food insecure. Person who is not able to fulfill their daily requirements, or people came below poverty line are also food insecure. People belonging to some scheduled castes and OBC are also came under the head of food insecure. In India, some states has large number of food insecure like Bihar, Orissa, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, parts of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Hungers are also came under the category of food insecure. It has chronic and seasonal dimensions. Seasonal hunger. When a person is unable to get work for entire year, then they came under the category of seasonal hunger. It is related to cycles of food growing and harvesting. This is prevalent in rural areas because of the seasonal nature of agricultural activities. And in urban areas because of the casual labor that is there is less work for casual construction labor during the rainy season. This type of hunger exists when a person is unable to get work for the entire year. Chronic hunger. Chronic hunger is a consequence of diets persistently inadequate in terms of quantity and/or quality. A person who has low level of income came under the category of chronic hunger. Food security in India. Production of food grains in India, million tons. Pause the video to see graph. This table shows different year production of food grains in India. During the period of 1965 to 1995 production of wheat increased by more than 4 times in the state of Punjab and Haryana. Because of availability of sufficient food grains, the government of India introduced food security system like public distribution system, buffer stock. What is buffer stock? The farmers sell their food grains at minimum supply price, i.e. pre-announced price of the government. This food grain stored in the warehouse of Food Corporation of India. This stock of food grains is called buffer stock. What is the public distribution system? Public distribution system, PDS, is the system of providing food grains from Food Corporation of India to the poor section of the society at subsidized rate. This program was launched in 1992 in 1,700 backward blocks in the country. This is a food security program. For the implementation of this system, many programs are launched by the Government of India like the Antyodaya and Yojana, which is for poorest of the poor, and the Annapurna schemes, which is for needy senior citizens. These two programs are launched in 2000. For take the benefit of public distribution system, the Government of India provide 3 type of ration card. 1. Antyodaya cards for the poorest of the poor. 2. BPL card for the people living below poverty line. 3. APL card for other all people. About 5.5 lakh ration shops or fair price shops are here all over the country for implementation of this system. Current status of public distribution system. At the time of introducing of public distribution system, it was for all category of people, i.e. there was no discrimination between the poor and non-poor. In 1992, Government of India decided to launch revamped public distribution system, RPDS, in 1992 with the aim to start it in 1,700 blocks in the country. Again in 1997, Public Distribution System revised as Targeted Public Distribution System, TPDS, which was only for the poor section of the society. Pause the video to see graph. Merits of Public Distribution System. It helps to keep food price stable by providing food at concessional rate. It helps to prevent large number of hunger and the famine by the way of supplying food from surplus region to deficit ones. Public Distribution System is purchased food grains from Food Corporation of India and created buffer stock. Poor section of the society can easily buy food at subsidized rates from fair price shop, and it has been possible through Public Distribution System. It assuring to the farmers by the way of purchasing food at minimum spot price. Demerits of Public Distribution System. In this system food grains are stored as buffer stock, which became wasteful due to gradually decrease in the quantity of food grains due to deterioration, wear and tear, and rotting etc. Sometimes products of the Public Distribution System is malpracticed by the PDS dealers through selling the food grains in the open market for getting better margin. Role of cooperatives in food security. Cooperative opens many fair price shops to sell food grains at concessional rate. Academy of Development Science is an organization of training and capacity building programs on food security for NGOs in Maharashtra. It facilitates a network of NGO for setting up bank of grains. It is a successful food security intervention. In Tamil Nadu, 94% fair price shop are being run by the cooperatives. Mother Dairy is a success story of cooperatives in milk and vegetables in Delhi. Amul is also a success story of cooperatives in milk and milk products in Gujarat. National Food for Work Program. This program was started on November 14, 2004 in 150 most backward districts of the country. The program is for those rural people who are needy of wage employment and desire to do manual and skilled work. The aim of this program is to intensify the generation of supplementary wage employment. It is 100% centrally sponsored scheme. In this program, the food grains are provided to states free of cost. At district level, nodal officer is the collector in this program. Antyodaya Anna Yojana, AAY. This Yojana was started in December 2000. 1 crore of the poorest among the BPL families came under Public Distribution System in this program. In this program, poorest people were identified through below poverty line survey. Now, 2 crore families have been covered under the AAY with the increment of 50 lakh each in June 2003 and in August 2004 subsidy. It is a form of financial aid made by the government to a producer to fix the price of a commodity. It leads to a fall in price of subsidized product with maintaining producer's profit. Exercise 1. How is food security ensured in India? Answer. Food security is ensured in a country when the 3 dimensions of food security are taken care of. The 3 dimensions are availability of food, presence of enough food for all the persons, accessibility of food, absence of barrier on access to food, affordability of food, capability of all persons to buy food of acceptable quality. 2. Which are the people more prone to food insecurity? Answer. A large section of people suffer from food and nutrition insecurity in India. However, the worst affected groups areas follows: landless and land poor households, traditional artisans, providers of traditional services, petty self-employed workers and destitute including beggars, in the rural areas. People employed in ill-paid occupations and casual laborers engaged in seasonal activities, in the urban areas. People belonging to the backward sections of society, namely SCs, STs and OBCs. People belonging to economically backward states with high incidence of poverty, tribal and remote areas, and regions more prone to natural disasters. People affected by natural disasters who have to migrate to other areas in search of work. Large proportion of pregnant and nursing mothers, and children under the age of 5 years. 3. Which states are more food insecure in India? Answer. The economically backward states with high incidence of poverty are more food insecure in India. The states of Uttar Pradesh, eastern and southeastern parts, Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, parts of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra account for the largest number of food insecure people in the country. 4. Do you believe that Green Revolution has made India self-sufficient in food grains? How? Answer. In the late 1960s, the Green Revolution introduced the Indian farmer to the cultivation of high-yielding varieties, HYV, of seeds. The HYVs, coupled with chemical fertilizers and pesticides, led to a growth in the productivity of food grains, especially wheat and rice, thereby helping India attain self-sufficiency in food grains. Since the advent of the Green Revolution, the country has avoided famine even during adverse weather conditions. 5. A section of people in India are still without food. Explain. Answer. Despite large increase in food grain production, we find people without food in India. Poor people suffer from chronic hunger. They find themselves unable to buy food. Over 1/5 of the country's population still suffers from chronic hunger. 6. What happens to the supply of food when there is a disaster or a calamity? Answer. When there is a disaster or a calamity, the production of food grains decreases in the affected area. This in turn creates a shortage of food in the area. Due to the food shortage, the prices go up. The raised prices of food materials affect the capacity of many people to buy the same. When the calamity occurs in a very widespread area, or is stretched over a long period of time, it may cause a situation of starvation. A massive starvation can take the form of famine. 7. Differentiate between seasonal hunger and chronic hunger. Answer. Seasonal hunger is related to cycles of food growing and harvesting. This is prevalent in rural areas because of the seasonal nature of agricultural activities, and in urban areas because of the casual labor. For example, there is less work for casual construction labor during the rainy season. This type of hunger exists when a person is unable to get work for the entire year. Chronic hunger is a consequence of diets persistently inadequate in terms of quantity and/or quality. Poor people suffer from chronic hunger because of their very low income and in turn, inability to buy food even for survival. 8. Why is a buffer stock created by the government? Answer. A buffer stock of food grains is created by the government so as to distribute the procured food grains in the food deficit areas and among the poorer strata of society at a price lower than the market price. A buffer stock helps resolve the problem of shortage of food during adverse weather conditions or during periods of calamity. 9. What has our government done to provide food security to the poor? Discuss any two schemes launched by the government. Answer. The food security is ensured in India by the government by carefully designed food security system. This system is composed of two components. A. Maintaining a buffer stock of food grains. B. Through the distribution of these food grains among the poorer sections of the society, with the help of a public distribution system, PDS. In addition to the above, the government has launched several poverty alleviation programs, PAP, that comprise a component of food security. Some of these programs are midday meals, Antyodaya Anna Yojana, AY, and food work, FFW, etc. Two schemes launched by the government to provide food security to the poor are Antyodaya Anna Yojana, AY. This scheme was launched in December 2000. Under this scheme 1 crore of the poor among the BPL families covered by the public distribution system, PDS, were identified. 25 kilograms of food grains were made available to each of the eligible family at a highly subsidized rate. After about 2 years, the quantity was enhanced from 25 kilograms to 35 kilograms. In June 2003, and August 2004, additional 50 lakh families were added to this scheme twice. In this way about 2 crore families have been brought onto the AAY. Food for Work, FFW, this program was launched in November 2004. In 150 most backward districts of the country. The main objective of this scheme is to intensify the generation of supplementary wage employment. This scheme is open to all rural poor who are willing to do unskilled labor. In return of the work, the workers are supplied food grains or money as they like. 10. Write notes on A. Minimum support price. B. Buffer stock. C. Issue price. D. Fair price shops. Answer. A. Minimum support price, MSP. This is the pre-announced price at which the government purchases food grains, particularly wheat and rice, from the farmer in order to create a buffer stock. This price is announced by the government every year before the sowing season to give incentive to the farmers to raise the production of the desired crop. The rising MSPs have raised the maintenance cost of procuring food grains by the government, as well as induced farmers to divert land from production of coarse grains to the production of these crops. B. Buffer stock. It is the stock of food grains, particularly wheat and rice, which the government procures through the Food Corporation of India, FCI. The FCI purchases these cereals directly from the farmers of those states where they are in surplus. The price of these commodities is much before the actual sowing season of these crops. The food grains thus purchased by the FCI are kept in big granaries and are called buffer stock. Maintaining buffer stock is a step taken by the government in order to ensure food security in the country. C. Issue price. In order to help the poor strata of the society, the government provides them food grains from the buffer stock at a price much lower than the market price. This subsidized price is known as the issue price. D. Fair price shops. The food grains procured by the government through FCI is distributed to the poor section of the society through ration shops. The ration shops are called fair price shops because food grains are supplied to the poor through these shops at much reasonable and a fair price than the market price, which is often high. Any family with a ration card can purchase stipulated amount of food grains, sugar, kerosene etc. every month from the nearby fair price shop. 11. What are the problems of the functioning of the ration shops? Answer: there are various problems of the functioning of ration shops, such as ration cards are issued only to those people who have their proper residential addresses. Hence a large number of homeless poor fail to get ration from these shops. The owners of these shops sell ration in the open market at higher prices. Sometimes shopkeepers make bogus entries in the ration cards. 12. Write a note on the role of cooperatives in providing food and related items. Answer: the cooperatives are playing an important role in food security in India, especially in the southern and western parts of the country. The cooperative societies set up shops to sell goods to the poor people at lower prices. For example, out of all fair price shops operating in Tamil Nadu, nearly 94% are being run by the cooperatives. In Delhi, Mother Dairy is providing milk and vegetables to the consumers at controlled prices which are decided by the Delhi government. Amul is another example in this regard. It has brought about the white revolution in the country. There are many more cooperatives and NGOs also working intensively towards this direction. That's it. We have completed Chapter 4 of Economics. Stay with us, learn more easily and free. Work for people and serve the country. Subscribe the channel and like video. Jai Hind.